What about 2 Blood Moons, 1 more Wizard Cycler, says Wolfish Halfling. You want me to sideboard the 3rd moon, the last moon? We've thought about going to 2 moons, 1 Magus of the Moon. You could do that. I also like a sideboard Glen. Give me a sideboard Glen. She was just so strong there. It's a Lendra. Sorry, Glenlendra Archmage. So are wizards the new but sweeter merfolk? No, I don't think so. I just think this deck works because Blood Moon's good right now. Is Jace Friends Prodigy a new edition? Nixer, the gentleman that was borrowing the Jace gave it back. So that's good. Somebody said just cut the Snapcasters entirely because it's not really a Snapcaster Mage deck. I understand that. That makes sense. You're not wrong. I still want the deck to curve, though. And Snap helps that curve. The Jace Prodigal Son has returned! Wizard Cycles can't find Magus, can they? Magus is a wizard. Yes, they can. Murray, NYC, Magus of the Moon is a human wizard. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. I can agree with the Snapcaster, but what else do we play? What do you mean? What else will we play there? That's the problem. I don't know what else would we put there. They can't melt steel beams? What? I don't know about cutting any Blood Moons right now in the current meta, though. It's so strong. I mean, just because the Sage is disgusting doesn't mean we want to run 4. That's true. Elvin says run the 2nd Glen there. Okay. Really? I mean, this is a powerful interaction. Sage plus Glen is very, 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 very powerful. Yes. So really put a Blood Moon in the sideboard. Maybe cut the last Magus. Cut another Magus. Personally, would like me to run Vendilion Clique in the main. Okay. I mean, I like Vendilion Clique. Cyclers will give us more access to Blood Moons, aka Magus. Okay. I could finally let go of the Magma Spray. It's the cutest card in the deck, I agree. I could finally let go of the Magma Spray. I like it, though. Keep Magus as a tutor target. Isn't Vidalcan basically a Magus of the Moon, since it'll find the others? Nixer says, but that's hurting the 4-mana curve. We could cut a Master. Clique with Fables is spicy. Yeah, true. Any anime fans who haven't watched Gate? Did the 2nd season come out? Thank you for the Venom. I watched the 1st season. Do we actually like having the 3rd moon in the sideboard finally? I mean, that just feels more tuned. Does this feel more tuned? I mean, I am trying to make it more tuned. We're trying to make it a little less adorable, this deck. Don't like cutting any Masters? True. This curve's really nice, though. 11 into 10 into 9 into 7. Although, some of the things on the 3s are not, like, going to be viled. Like, for example, these are not vile targets. Like, what is not viled? Let's look at our Aether Vial curve. Let's look at our Aether Vial curve. Let's pull everything out of the curve that's not part of the Aether Vial. So what's not part of Aether Vial? Our curve literally goes 2. Our curve goes 1. So 2 1s, 8 2s, 5 3s, 7 4s. That's what the Aether Vial curve looks like if we run it like this. 2 Glens, 3 Masters, 1 Sower, 1 Venser for Spice, 1 Magus, 1 Vendilion Clique, 3 Sages of Fables, 1 Jace Friends Prodigy, 1 Harbinger of the Tides, which is kind of like another Venser, but it's specific to creatures, 1 Snapcaster Mage, 4 Void Mage Prodigy, 1 Spell Skite, 2 Grim Lavamancer. Glendolon is great when it's good, but it's not amazing versus a lot of decks. Okay, we could sideboard her. If we put the Glen in the sideboard, what do we main instead? The Electrolyze? Electrolyze is main deckable. We can have the second Glen Alondra in the sideboard. It's not great versus everything. Kira's really solid right now. I think instead of the second main deck Glen, we'll run either Kira or Electrolyze, or maybe even Tidebinder. There's a lot of aggro decks that Tidebinder's good against right now. And if it's not good against them, it is just a 2/2 wizard for 2, which is totally playable. I think it is. I think it's not as bad. I think the Tidebinder Mage is actually really solid main deck call. You know, same with Staticaster. Like, there are plenty of decks right now being played that Staticaster and Tidebinder and Electrolyze would be fine. It's good, J-Bone. Dude, this deck is coming together, J-Bone. Oh my gosh. Like, the deck started exploding when... You would love this because you love, like, creature combos. Sage of Fables plus Glen Alondra Archmage. Think about it. Think about it. Sage of Fables. Each other wizard you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter. Glen Alondra Archmage. Think about it. Think about it. I didn't come up with this. You guys did. I think Harbinger is still often better. Okay. We're trying to figure out what cards are going to go main and what cards are going to go side. We actually sideboarded a moon. We're only going to run 2 in the main, I guess, just to try to tune the deck. I'm excited you're here, Jay. Gross, nice look. They can remove the Tidebinder, but Harbinger requires them to reinvest their mana, leaves them behind. Staticaster is surprisingly good against Eldrazi. Both their guys picks off tokens. So you guys want me to try main decking the... we don't curve, though. We won't curve if I do that. Well, you know what? You know what? I really need to get over the whole... Like, Aethervial decks normally don't have pretty curves, right? Fish players in the room. Hang on. Merfolk players in the room. Do or do not Aethervial decks normally have a nice pretty curve? Aren't they usually like a block of cheese? Like, don't they normally look like this even? Just like, bleh, a block of cheese. Aethervial decks normally don't have a pretty curve, right? Dacra Mystic or Riot? What is the Dacra Mystic? Mystic. Anafens and Malara both can lock with Glen. Merfolk Wizard reveals top card. I may put the reveal card. If I don't, each player draws card. Okay. We each look... Okay, we each reveal the top card, and I may put the reveal cards in the graveyards, but if I don't, we each draw a card. So this is basically blue, tap, both players draw a card. They like finding a number that the vial stops on, sometimes 2. Tons of 2s and 3s. J-Bone says, I really like that combo. I thought you might, J-Bone. I don't like Staticaster main, says Woofish. Okay. I didn't either because it upset the curve. I'd rather not upset the curve. Can we add something that, like, honestly, Dispel's main deckable right now, isn't it? Couldn't we just run a Dispel? That would make me really happy, actually. Lich Lord of Unks. Harbinger buys so much time against Eldrazi. That's true. I like the Harbinger, too. What about that? Why don't we just put the Dispel in the main deck? There's plenty of things that we need to kill. Like, honestly, for Magus to stick game 1, we have to Dispel or have the Spellskite. Right? I mean, maybe we should just be running both Spellskites in the main. And then sideboard the Roast. I think Dispel might be a fine main card. What about Nivix? Oh yeah, I've looked at... yeah, the Nivix, so I'll bring it up on screen for everybody who doesn't know it. So Nivix Guildmage, it is a 2-drop, it is in our colors, and what it lets us do is draw cards. It's not horrendous, I just think it's really expensive though. But yeah, it's like a loot house on a creature. It's not horrible. We talked about him. It's not actually horrible. We're doing well, Kendali. That sounds good. Skite times 2 and Roast in the side. Okay. So second Roast in the side. So main deck the Spellskites. Spellskite's pretty main deckable right now. Might improve our chances against Burn and Infect game 1. Run Dark Magician. Dark Magician. Azorius Guildmage, kill fetch lands. Niv Mizzix. Dispel was great, main with Twin, not so good now, says Irish. Well, we still need to answer the dismembers, and you can trade 1-for-1 with a bolt against burn. Niv Mizzix to top the curve. No. Like, we used to have an Azami. I had an Azami in this thing that we thought we were never going to cut. We had Azami. Yeah, we had an Azami. And we thought we were never going to cut her from the top of the curve because she was just amazing in the grindy matches, because we were just like, okay, Vial in Azami, draw 3 cards or more. And we haven't really run into any matchups where we could really abuse her like we need to. That sounds terrible, abuse her. Abuse the card is what I mean. That came out wrong. You guys knew what I meant. Sounds terrible. Abuse the card, Azami. Any graveyard hate in the sideboard? No, not really. We probably should. We probably should. I think the Electrolyze is sweet but low impact. That could be a sideboard card for, like, Relic of Progenitus. Actually, are there any decks that Grafdigger's Cage is good against right now, or is that just not a thing? We have 7 instants and sorcerers for our snap. Maybe just put another Harbinger there. Ever tried Fate Spinner? Yeah, Garfank, people were talking about Fate Spinner. Relic on the side. Wizard Abuse. Relic of Progenitus, maybe? I mean, I don't really think we're a Snapcaster deck. I think we're maybe a Jace Prince Prodigy deck. Fortunately or unfortunately. I'm not sure about the Snappy. I don't own another Harbinger, but I could try to get one. You guys like the Harbinger a lot. Relic seems better than Cage. Graph isn't good against Living End, but it's good against Grishol Brand. It's good against Kiki Cord in my Abzan deck, says Jay. Oh, that's right, yeah. Grafdig stops Cord of Calling. Yeah, creature cards can't enter. Players can't cast. For real, I think we want a Singleton, Pierce, or Cryptic over the Dispel. Okay. I have Cryptics. We have access to Cryptic. The hard part about Cryptic is we're mooning people. Singleton, Spell, Pierce, or Cryptic over the Dispel. Okay. Real talk, man. I understand that. If we cut some of these pieces, that frees up some other slots. I mean, I could try to get another Harbinger for us. Graph also stops Collected Company. Grand Architects is quick. We were running Grand Architect. I'd like it to curve, though. Why don't we try to get a second Harbinger? It's like the creature bounce side of Venser, except a lot cheaper. Mana-wise. I'm down for another... I'm down for a Cryptic. Playing turn 1 Relic and draw. May we just die. Cage doesn't require mana. Trinket Mage will tutor the cages. I like Trinket Mage too. Trinket Mage lets us find the Vial if we don't have one, if we want a second Vial. I like Venser too. I didn't say we're cutting him. We Vial Aether Mage in to go for the value. It's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't hate one of Trinket Mage. Well, okay, hang on. Hang on. We're having trouble against Burn. Okay, what if we did a Trinket Mage package? What would it look like? Hang on. What would the Trinket Mage package look like other than just Cage and Vial? What else? Could it also get Explosives? Could it get Chalice? Hang on. I love Trinket Mage packages, but can we actually make it a real package? Like, we're having trouble against Burn, so if we were to run a Trinket Mage package, it would want to find us what? Elixir of Immortality. An extra Vial, or a Vial if we don't have one. A Grafdigger's Cage. What else? Pithing Needle. Engineered Explosives, Chalice. I mean, I love Trinket Mage packages. I do. You guys know I love them. I'm worried that we're going a little too cute here. This is just theory. If it's for Burn, think about Slavok, Lifestaff, or another one-drop artifact that gains life. Other than Elixir? Lifestaff. Is that better than just an Elixir of Immortality for 5? Hold up. You might be onto something. Sylvok is... When the equipped creature dies, I gain 3. Plus Void Mage Prodigy is kind of a combo. Whatever we're going to sacrifice, put the Lifestaff on it. That's actually not crazy. Are there any 1-mana wizard artifacts? Chalice of the Void? Yeah, we can run Chalice. Scornfully